No beer on this table.
Yeah. That does the business.
Right, we're live successfully tonight for a change. Right, welcome back, guys. So yeah, tonight I'm joined by the infamous Thomas Whitby.
How are we?
Yeah, good mate, good. Mark Beck, Cameron Laws to my left, and there's the notes. Gone. Right, we'll do it without the notes tonight. Right, Cameron's on the case. I started with the most non-important thing, Ipswich Town related this week. Welcome back to the 12th Man, by the way. Thanks for joining us. So, Ed Sheeran shirt. I just want your thoughts on that, boys, because I'll start with you, Cameron. What do you think about that?
It's not really a problem with me. If people want to go and buy that 50 odd quid, then it's up to them. I won't be getting one, but
Absolutely spunking money, innit? Surely, Mark.
I've had enough of Ed Sheeran this week. He's the most plastic Ipswich fan I've ever seen in my life, and the only reason he was there on Tuesday night was to plug that shirt and his concert, and no other reason.
My question is, who gets the money from the Ed Sheeran shirt? Do you know?
50-50 most probably, I can imagine. But honestly, do you not think so? Do you think it's like 90-10 to Sheeran?
90-10 of Evans.
90-10.
No,
We're in the money.
99-1 to Evans, definitely.
Honestly, if anyone buys that shirt, they should be shocked.
Well, I heard off a very reliable source today that there was queues as long as 2 hours for this shirt.
No,
At this
you
public
actually
shirt.
take the piss.
I'm not even taking a mic.
Oh, wow.
I'm not even taking a mic. Yeah. So, anyway, boys. First 4 league games out of the way. Fifth in the table, 8 points, 2 points off the top. How are we feeling, Cameron?
Well, it's gone alright, and it with performances have been a bit hit and miss, but we're getting the late goals, which is getting us the points.
Yeah.
Those goals could be the difference at the end of the season, at the end of the day, so
Happy
so far, yeah.
Good. Mark, how are you feeling?
I'm still at least 70% buzzed from Tuesday night, but I can't keep doing this because my voice is I'm going to sound like Sean Dyche by the end of the season. I keep getting wrecked by this, but no, you know, if we hadn't won that game, I think we'd all been a bit down in the dumps really. But that's perfect sort of uplifter really to give us that belief to go forward, and hopefully Saturday, should it go ahead, will be even better for us really.
Yeah.
Nice sort of positive result hopefully.
So 9 minutes before the end, there I was standing there thinking, "Oh God, what am I going to say to the guys after this?" But obviously we come out, we're all buzzing, especially you, Whitby, jumping on people's backs.
It's just a norm, man. That top off. The top didn't come off then, did it?
No.
Top off on people's backs. But yeah, honestly, I wouldn't even want to talk to you if I came out of that game 1-0 down. I wouldn't know what I would have said. To be fair, performances haven't been great overall, have they? I think we can all agree on that. Definitely a work in progress. It just shows you if we can get 8 points, 8 out of 12 after the first 4 games, first 3 being against teams you expect to be up there, not playing particularly well, the potential's definitely there that hopefully it's going to be a very successful season.
Yeah, definitely. So that takes me nicely on to obviously Tuesday night, and actually Wimbledon, we were a bit lacklustre, weren't we, as a team, and probably maybe not the first time, but definitely.
Do you think
I think.
Do you think we'd walk into that game and we're playing little old Wimbledon here, and we're just going to turn up and win?
Definitely, I definitely think we played down because it was Wimbledon. What do you think, Gav?
Yeah, it was. When I saw the lineup, I wasn't too bothered because I thought the 4-4-2 against Peterborough was a bit, it wasn't all there. I think personally, the midfield was a bit, I would have had Hughes instead of Dazelle because I think Dazelle is better in a 2 rather than a 3.
Yeah.
I think Norwood was a bit isolated, even though he was playing 1 a lot for Tranmere. I don't think that really worked for him, and like you said, at the end there, I think it was just a bit cocky, like Norwood's up there, he'll get all the goals.
Yeah.
And I think that proved when we brought Jackson on, that gave us the better option, and we pushed from there in.
Yeah, we'll definitely get onto that in a minute, but in terms of the squad and the lineup, I thought, maybe that there was the right call. We struggled at Peterborough in my eyes, and we got a lucky 2-2 draw in the end.
Yeah.
And I'd say Peterborough, the only side we've actually played that have got a decent side this season.
Yeah, exactly. Wimbledon came with a game plan, and for 70 odd minutes it worked. They were playing 3-5-2, catch on the counter, and a lot was being made in that first half. There were some people who booed, and if you booed, I know you left before the end, so you get what you deserve. So it was. They came with a game plan. Like I said in the build-up, it's going to take some games 30 and 40 minutes to break teams down because they're frightened of us because we're such a big side. They're happy to take a point. I think if Wimbledon probably would be gutted with a point, but if you'd asked them what result they wanted at the start of the game, they would have bit your hand off for a point.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we haven't been great, but like I said, Saturday's perfect opportunity to get the confidence to push on, exactly.
Norwood and Jackson are looking like the partnership that we all hoped and dreamed for. Obviously, we saw that in pre-season, but now they've both got their accounts off and started, Tom. Surely we expect more goals from them being a vocal point in most games this season.
Let's hope so. I mean, we've looked most effective at playing 4-4-2. Obviously, because they can bounce off each other. I expect Norwood to at least get 20 in the league. Jackson at least get double figures himself. But, I mean, you expect Jackson to make the runs in behind, don't you? And obviously Norwood will be one flicking him on. But for someone 5'11", it's not great sometimes. Keep playing that long ball. Like on Tuesday night, we proved that. You got two big centre halves winning everything in the air. So we've got to try and play the ball on the floor a lot more. Play it through midfield, other than giving it to the fullbacks and lumping it forward like we did a couple of years ago. Yeah. It's not going to work in this league.
No, you're right, and we're not going to find many teams that don't have big centre backs at the back. That's just how the league works.
They're all going to be 35, big bollocks, grey hair, and one of them to kick shit out of everyone, aren't they?
Yeah. Steve McNulty.
Yeah, exactly, there you go.
But in terms of Jackson and Norwood, Jackson's obviously come out, well-timed PR from Ipswich Town, but Jackson's obviously come out with a statement saying, we work well as a pair. So do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I think I said it proved on Tuesday when he come on, we were a lot more effective in attack.
Yeah.
But to me, I've always said that Jackson's better off the bench.
Yeah.
I think that was.
I said that to you, haven't I?
I think that was obvious last season, and his best game to me. Although I think he's played well this season, I think that was by far his best game. Yeah. So it's a hard situation.
You've got tiring defenders there, haven't you? I mean, and you don't want someone who's apparently as quick as Usain Bolt. I haven't seen it myself, but he's definitely quick against. Obviously, like we said, he's 35-year-old centre half. So they're tiring. 70 minutes in, they're going to shit themselves.
But Kane Jackson was effective in the Championship. I know you probably wouldn't agree, but he did cause some trouble in the Championship coming on as a sub.
He had a lot of chances, didn't
he made them runs. That's what gave me real hope for him this season. I'm glad he got his goal. And like you say, it's perfect timing, really, coming out with that. But the runs with me and made there, it's just, unfortunately, the Championship, you sometimes only get that one chance to hit the back of the net. And Caden, I think, sadly, apart from Tuesday, which you've proven me wrong here, but he needs sort of 2 or 3 chances to get the ball in the back of the net when he's starting the game. But so, I think he's probably said it as well because Will Keane's come in as well. It's probably helping. But like you say, perfect timing. Yeah. They both scored in the same game as well, which helps. So hopefully they can kick on a bit further from that.
Definitely. Right, boys. So we had one debut this week, and that was Anthony Georgiou, who has been likened to Cristiano Ronaldo, the left-footed version. But personally, I thought he played really well, and I thought down the left-hand side is desperately what we needed. But I felt that him and Judge worked together well. But let's concentrate on Georgiou first. What did you make of him, Cameron?
I think personally he changed the game when he come on. That was the perfect sub at half-time. El Mazzuni, he wasn't really in it for me. It was a tough game for him to come in.
Yeah.
Georgiou was always on the ball. He was always dribbling through. He was always looking forwards rather than sideways, which is what I think was our problem in the first half. And that was, to me, the perfect sub.
What do you think, boys?
Cypriot Di Maria, very left-footed, but they swapped. Him and Judge swapped towards the end, and he cut in on his left foot, which is good. So
that's Danny Rowe. Don't say Danny Rowe's
it's great for him to come in. I think he definitely changed things up. There was times where people were calling for him for players to take people on, and he would run. He would run in space, which is really handy. So hopefully he can push on.
I don't see him as a left back though, and it was a puzzling signing. And I think I'm a bit weary of and what's going to be happening on the wing soon, because you've got Rowe, you've got Edwards, Lancaster potentially coming back at some point. Sears is going to come back in, New Year. Those kinds of players are going to be playing on the wing. I mean, players like El Mazzuni, Dobra, they're not really going to, feature in this side, are they?
No, I think El Mazzuni, what I've heard, he's not really a winger. People said he plays down the middle a lot more. I haven't really seen him play, but apparently for him, so he plays where Judge should be playing, really, in my eyes. So those type of players, maybe best to send them out on loan.
Yeah.
Give them a bit of experience. There'd be a lot of clubs trying to snap El Mazzuni up and Dobra, I think. Especially after Dobra's performance against Luton. If people were watching that, you'd definitely have even League One clubs trying to snap your hands off for him.
Oh, I want him in our side.
Yes.
Like, he played so well. Did you go to Luton? Bloody hell. For an 18, 19 years old, he absolutely rinsed their back. He rinsed James Bree. Obviously a player that got rinsed a lot for us last season, but
Who didn't get rinsed last season for us? Come
but
on.
what I'm saying is James Bree is that kind of player who's not he's not Premiership quality, but he is good enough to play in the Championship.
I'd have him right now. If you gave him, if you gave me James Bree right back right now, I'd snap your hand off for him straight away. He's a type of fullback we need.
Well, that takes me on to our next topic. Obviously, Vincent Young's come in and he's not yet to feature, but does Vincent Young coming in actually end a spell for Josh Emmanuel? And secondly, does it end Donashin's reign as right back in the first team?
Well, before we went on camera, I think we were saying that I think Emmanuel's reign is over anyway, given that he brought Donasien in, despite saying last season that he's definitely a centre-back and he's not in his plans and all that. And obviously he loaned him back to Accrington anyway. I think he's not really taking his chance either, Donasien. We've lacked on the fullback, so I think that's a positive sign, and I've not really seen much of Vincent Young to...
No. Either have I, to be fair, and I can't make a comment on it.
Yeah. Colchester fans say he's really attacking fullback, and I think Donasien's problem is he's not there at the pitch a lot. Rowe was kind of isolated in that game against Sunderland.
I find Rowe is really isolated at Portman Road. Do you find that?
Yeah, definitely. I think Donasien's... We've got two fullbacks who are the complete polar opposite. Manuel, good going forward, can't defend. Donasien can defend, can't attack.
I wouldn't say it was some of the headers he made on Tuesday night, man. I'll tell you what, he was such a liability Tuesday.
I think the problem with Tuesday...
Doesn't he remind you of Jordan Spence a little bit, the way he positions himself? He positions himself right next to the centre half every time and leaves that man free on the right-hand side, obviously where their goal came from in the first half. He's exactly the same way he positions himself, right next to, for example, Chambers, or in that instance, Wolfenden. You're leaving so much space free on that right-hand side. You're just asking for trouble.
I think right back and left back are scapegoat positions, and they may appear as our weakest positions, as you just said there, as you highlighted, but that might not be the case. Yeah. There may be other positions that we're weaker in. I'd say we've probably been weak on the left-hand side.
We get exposed on our sides quite a lot, because obviously, especially with 4-3-3, your two wingers are right at the top of the pitch, aren't they? So obviously you're isolated. If their full-back goes, obviously it leaves space for us, but at the same time, they're 2 against 1 against our full-back.
Yeah. Completely agree. So are we on we're on a general understand that we go back to a 4-4-2 at the weekend?
Yeah. I think it's fairly conclusive from that Wimbledon game. We completely turned the game from that Jackson sub, so I think it would be a bit stupid not to. And against a team like Bolton, where we want to be forward, we want to be creating chances. Exactly, well, them sort of ones. We need to be scoring goals, and that's going to happen with 2 over 1.
Yeah, I heard there's not many betting companies giving out odds, but FansBet are definitely giving out odds, so look out. I'll send details on that one. But who have we got next? Obviously, Will Keane has come in. Will Keane. We won't ask Whitby about this one. No, Will Keane, boys. We need another striker, whether or not he was fit or not. Clearly doesn't matter.
He's fit though, but he's not match fit, isn't he? I think he needs a couple under 23 games to get his feet back.
Is he playing tonight?
It's tomorrow. He's playing with
tomorrow.
Nolan.
And Nolan, can't wait for that Ginger Messi to get back.
Imagine if we have a fully fit squad in this division. Are there actually any squads anywhere near the quality and depth that we have?
I'm glad you brought that up, because it's actually frightening how sick our squad would be if they were all available.
We're going to have to sell players in January just to make up for all these positions that we've been. But obviously we have a lot of injuries at the club, so it is good to have. Obviously that we wouldn't be worried that Downs gets injured or Scooter gets injured, because you've got Nolan and Hughes and all them to come back in. It's not really a real worry.
Well, let's look at who we've got to bring back in, right? So we've got Bishop, Nolan, Hughes to come in to full, come in. We've got who else? Garbutt's got to come back. We've still got
Freddie Sears.
Yeah, Freddie Sears. Who else? Jack Lancaster.
Enciala,
the GOAT. I mean,
how did we forget Toto?
How could we? Look, I think it's a given that he's a god on the football pitch. But just there, we've got seven or eight players that when they come back,
It's good start 11.
It's frightening. frightening. I wouldn't want to be playing against us in League One.
How we can't win the under-23 league this year, I'll never know. I'll tell you about some of the players we could play in that this year.
Well, I'm hoping to go to Leeson.com trophy final, so
Me and you both, mate.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed if we don't play up in that one, and make sure you get your tickets, guys, because massive games. Come on, 2 home games and away game. You can't really pay for that, can you? Right. Anyway, let's go on to something more pressing because it's starting to really piss me off, and I talk about this every week. It's the Chambers debate, right? Now, boys, just simply, I'm going to ask you one question, and it's one of 2 answers, right? Was Chambers dropped or rested on Tuesday night?
Rested.
Rested, but should have been dropped.
Rested.
Right, so why would you... Right, this is my argument, right? And I'm technically sticking up for Chambers here. If you're the captain of a football club, why would you be rested after scoring a 90th minute winner on Saturday in a Tuesday game?
If I scored a 94th minute equaliser
Oh yeah,
in front of 4,000 fans, I'd be out for a month. Trust me, I'd be injured for a month. So...
But seriously, in my opinion, he was dropped. Do you not agree?
Yeah. I think the 93 minutes beforehand probably, it's easy to forget. Easy to forget.
Easy to forget that Chambers did have a bad game against Peterborough.
It's the things with Norwood. No disrespect to the guy, he's been sort of chasing lost causes, but he didn't really do a lot apart from score and some amazing shithouser at the end with his faking his injury. But that's all he really did.
Perfect.
But obviously that's different when you're a striker. That's all you want to do. But when you're centre back, I look at the 2 centre backs we had on Tuesday night. Wilson got a heck of a lot of stick for heading the ball out into the cobbled stand. But
The exact thing Chambers didn't do 2 weeks ago.
We got a bit more depth in that, to be fair, because I thought Wilson was one of the best players on the pitch. He'd done nothing wrong. You've got to imagine back a couple of years ago in the playoff year, our back 4 was Mings, Berra, Smith, Chambers. The only one who'd play football in that back 4 would be Mings.
Yeah.
The other 4 would just get
rid of
shot
it.
every time. You need a centre back like that. You need someone who's just going to get rid of the ball, and he done everything right. He didn't do one thing wrong. And like Mark just said, that Chambers on that Sunderland game, all he had to do was get rid of that ball. Yeah. Only thing.
And he cost us 2 points in that game.
Exactly.
Even Wolfenden against Wimbledon, there's opportunities where it was either play the ball or put it behind for a corner, and he put it behind for a corner because that's putting it out of the danger zone as much as giving them a set piece opportunity. That's less than actually just keeping the ball in play and potentially giving the ball away in an open play.
Now it seems harsh in a general consensus, but the least Chambers did was score the equaliser against Peterborough on Saturday. Did you go, Dorsey?
I did go.
Yeah. Obviously, he played a part in their second goal. Whether or not that was his fault, I'm not going to beg. But he didn't do too much at the back, and I feel like he, for me, is the scapegoat. He's the one that's really causing us. Now, my idea is that Chambers has been, and I'm not questioning the guy as a player. Well, maybe I am, right? I'm not questioning his passion on the pitch, right? But what I'm questioning is how can somebody successfully be the captain of a club on its worst ever patch in its history, got relegated for the first time to the 3rd division in 60 odd years, and got Player of the Year.
Let's go on to that Player of the Year. I think he got Player of the Year because it was more to do with you couldn't pick anyone for Player of the Year. We had our worst season in 50 plus years.
They could have given it to the fans.
Come on.
Look, listen, I know it's cheesy, but Pennington won the Player of the Year, didn't he?
Yeah, but he kept everyone together through the toughest period of the club, and I think that's why the fans sat there and thought, yeah, he's Player of the Year. He's kept him and Lambert kept everything together for that second half of the season when things were tough.
It was just
very
a sympathy
tough.
vote, wasn't it? It was sympathy. That's what it was.
Exactly.
Sympathy vote, definitely. And we'll be coming on to a sympathy vote in a minute. But in terms of what we're trying to get away from now, and I've seen a bit more on the pitch, is when we do get these victories, that he's been probably told not to do a fist bump anymore.
He kept well away from the north stand, didn't he? He was on that halfway line in the centre circle most of the time.
The fans were waiting for it, but it didn't come. If anything, I think Lambert did a little one.
Lambert's officially taken over the fist bump. All right, we've heard it here first. Anyway, right, so what do we get on to now? Bolton this Saturday, boys. Were you worried that it was going to be on or not?
Not really, because the reason they claimed it on Tuesday was because they've rested the players, so you would presume it was for this game, but I think that's a rubbish excuse
Yeah,
anyway. But
obviously they're going through their problems, but I would like to rubbish any rumours that suggest that they had to take a day off purely because they've got us on Saturday. But that's
massive.
Yeah, we're that big, obviously. They took a 3-point deduction just coming to the.
It's Colin Quaynor flashbacks. That's why Parkinson's resigned. He's sitting there in his office. He's scared, shit scared. PTSD.
I heard Quaynor's coming in on loan specifically for this weekend.
One
Yeah.
game only.
The weekend's game with Town, obviously playing Bolton, is not thought to be in any doubt. While Bolton are hopeful that their takeover by Football Ventures will be concluded soon.
You know what the worst thing could be? We go up there, win 2 or 3-0, get the result, and 3-4 months down the season, they fold. And we lose the points. It's the worst thing that could happen to
Our
us.
job this weekend is to go out there
Is to win.
and win.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Not just win heavy.
Yeah, win heavy.
Goals.
What? How many goals do you want to see?
4 minimum.
4 minimum. 4 minimum. I agree with that. But obviously, Phil Parkinson and assistant Steve Parkin have parted way with their club. Apparently, that was agreed before their 5-0 loss to whoever it was at the weekend. Tranmere, apparently. But they've only got 3 senior players fit for action. Obviously, that'll be supplemented by youngsters. But in comparison to Bury, I'm sure Bolton fans can draw some hope from the fact that their team was still playing, but will find completing scheduled fixtures difficult whilst the takeover is still up in the air. They can't bring any players in, can they?
It's a difficult one. I do feel for them, but like we've said, we can't take sympathy in their situation. We've got to go up there, do a job for 90 minutes, and think about our own season.
Yeah.
I feel for the fans. They've been up where we've been, and they're down where we are now.
Yeah.
They've been along with the journey with us, really. But yeah,
Would they give us a sympathy vote, though? You've got to put that in that context. You see people online like, oh, we should feel sorry for them. We should put our under-23s against them. What a load of bullshit. Let's go there and put 10 past them. I don't care. You can clap their young players before the game.
Yeah.
You can give them as much pat on the back afterwards. Those 90 minutes, we go out there to destroy them.
Yeah.
Literally go out there. Norwood's going to be top scorer of 13 goals on Bloomin' on Saturday.
Look, the thing is, you're absolutely right.
No, yeah.
Praise them beforehand, praise them half-time, praise them afterwards. Doesn't mean we want them to win. It's a game of football. You're in the league, you're going to play a game, and, as much sympathy... Look, regardless, we're not going to Bolton to hand out sympathy vote as a team. We need to perform and walk away with 3 points. Yeah. And whether or not they do, it's not... In my eyes, it's not going to happen to Bolton. Not so much as Bury. Obviously, Bury are going to go under. Tomorrow is obviously D-Day for them. Yeah. But in terms of Bolton, really, I think they'll have their ship sorted out sooner rather than later. I'm not in the know. I don't really. I follow it as much as I can, but it changes every single day, doesn't it? And it's really hard to keep up with it. But in terms of what we expect as a fan base, Cameron, what do we expect on Saturday?
Well, hammering. 4-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. We need to go and attack them, score goals. I don't know what their average age of their team is.
19, I think.
19, yeah.
19, I think, yeah.
If you compare our team to theirs, I can name
our average age,
0 players.
Our average age can't be that much higher.
Our average age is probably about 24.
It gets
Yeah,
brought up
yeah.
with Scoots, doesn't it, and
Yeah.
Chambers if he's playing.
Yeah.
Or Wilson. So.
But I know what I expect on Saturday, and we're going there, we're travelling up. I expect the game to be on first. Yeah. That's my biggest worry. Yeah. We get to tomorrow, and all of this was for nothing. But my biggest worry is we get up there, we get to the gates, and it's like they're not letting us in. And obviously, you guys that travelled up last year, did you go up last year to Bolton?
No.
You did, didn't you? And it was touch and go whether the game was going to be on.
Yeah, we were in the pub, and it got to about 1:30, and they weren't letting anyone in. No one in at all. It got to about 2:00, and they just about opened the gates, letting people in. It was it's a 4.5 hour journey, for God's sake, on a good run.
Yeah.
On a good run. Yeah. And it's just not worth it if you know it's 50-50. But obviously we know we'll go up whatever, just to make sure, because we don't want to miss it, do we?
You've got to get your top off as well.
I'll get my top off as well, mate. I'll tell you what.
It's supposed to be sunny in Bolton this weekend. Sunny old Bolton, yeah. In terms of who comes into the squad, because I anticipate there will be some changes. Regardless of the opponent, Lambeau's saying we can't play this many matches with these players playing every single week. But I think there'll be changes come in, and I think we might see Emmy Hughes get his first 90. Apart from Luton. Would you agree with that? I'll come to you, Mark.
Yeah, definitely. But in the same vein, there's no reason we've got no game on Tuesday because we're amazing in cup competitions. So we've got nothing to worry about. Might as well go there full strength, get the boys clicking, and if, like you say, if they do, like we all hope what they're going to do, put 4 or 5 past them, that's going to do wonders for their confidence, especially on the back of Tuesday night, sort of a double high to end the week.
Yeah, I would admit the pressure is probably on for us to perform more than it is for them.
It's on until we get that second goal. Pressure's on until we get a second goal. We know the game's dead after that second goal, don't we? Really, we don't expect them to come and score.
We've probably let them off lightly because Tuesday night. Well, I'm not shying away from this. Was the worst first half of football I've ever seen as an Ipswich Town fan, and that is not. I'm not shying away from that at all. Second half, we come out and put in a few shots, but we didn't get started, did we?
No, it's hard to call on Tuesday because we were chasing the game second half.
Yeah.
Like you say, the first half was poor. Second half, obviously, we were going for it. You want to see that from the off in all games, really.
Yeah.
Especially Saturday.
Yeah.
I reckon there'll be changes. I would hope Hughes was starting. Like I said earlier, I would have started him ahead of Dizelle.
Yeah.
And but if, say, with Emmy Hughes, if he's playing a 4-4-2, he's not going to drop Scousel down, does he?
No.
That is the other problem, isn't it?
This is the problem. Those two have mostly been our best 2 players every single game, every week so far this season.
And like obviously Pete of the Switch always says that if one of those two get man in a match, well, most probably Scouse, then they're stealing it away from the person that should be man in the match, and that's either one of our strikers or potentially one of our wingers, winning the game for us.
Top 6 if your defensive midfielders man in the match each week.
No, exactly. You're right. You're 100% right. So does Chambers come back in on Saturday? Because I just want to put this out here. Chambers has played 3 games this season. We've not won a single one of them.
I said,
Wilson's played twice, and he's got 6 points. Right. He's played on Tuesday night, not putting a bad performance at all. That goal was nothing to do with our centre back player, and I'd say Wolfenden, best player on the park sometimes. But what I'm saying is, on Saturday, does Lambert put his foot down and say, look, you're going to have to work your way back into this squad now, because if Wilson wasn't unfit for Burton, I'm sure he would have kept his space.
He'll come back in. Chambers will come back in. As much as I hate to see it, like you've been saying, nothing against the guy's character. He's dedicated to this club. The old cliches. He bleeds blue. But I'm sure Doris, the tea lady, loves the club as much as him. She's not starting at centre back every week. So, there comes a time where Luke Chambers isn't going to be starting week in, week out, and if
Do you think we're at that end path, that crossroads?
Oh, yes, definitely. And I think I'm just waiting for Toto to come back. Toto and the Wolf.
All right, let's just put it here. Toto's fit right now. Okay, Toto's come into the squad. He's walked into the dressing room. He's fully kitted out. It's not even announced the team yet, but he knows he's in the starting 11. But who does he take out of the squad? Because in my eyes, it wouldn't be Wolfenden.
Well, what, out of Wilson or Chambers?
Yeah.
It'd have to be one of those, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
It couldn't be Wolf his first choice.
Exactly.
He's nailed that spot to me.
Wolfenden's one of our own. If we talk about birth and blood, he's come into that squad. He's not put a single foot wrong in 5 games, 4 or 5 games.
He really has surprised me this season. I mean, last season helped him massively, didn't he, with his experience? I mean, that was a massive season for him at Swindon.
Yeah.
But he surprised me. I didn't think he was going to be as solid as what he was. You don't expect a 19-year-old, 18, how old is it, 18, 19?
20, I think.
Is he 20 now, yeah? 20-year-old walking into a club as big as us in front of, let's say, 25,000 at a Sunderland game and playing as well as he did. He hasn't put a foot wrong yet.
But he showed what he could do, much like Dizelle, against West Ham pre-season last year. And he shouldn't have gone out on loan, in my opinion.
The difference is, though, he continues to do it.
Yeah.
Not to go off topic, but
Great shout.
Where's if Dizelle hadn't played that pass, I didn't see him on the pitch.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Dizelle has done absolutely nothing. I don't know how you feel about this, guys, but
Do you think Dizelle's head's in it? After the summer...
his head's gone. His head is gone.
His
That
head's
Norwich-
in Bournemouth somewhere. His head's in Bournemouth.
His head was either in Norwich or Bournemouth,
Yeah.
like the back end of 2 weeks ago. He was fit for those games. He was just taken out of the squad. similar to the Judge situation. It's taken Judge maybe 2 weeks to get back into the side. He probably looked better on Tuesday night, but I don't know if you heard about this, but obviously apparently him and Lambert had a bit of a fallout regarding this QPR move because he was trying to push it along. But the idea of this transfer talk putting people off, I can understand. You know, if you want to leave, then make yourself available. Leave, go. If that's what you want to do, stick to your guns. Don't expect to walk back into that squad. And Dazelle, I feel he's got a lot. He's got a lot of potential, but I can't even count with 2 fingers how many times he's done something that I can even relate to.
Dazelle isn't the right player for this division, I feel.
Say that again.
I feel Dazelle isn't the right player for this division. I mean, you need big, strong centre midfielders who are going to battle. It's a battle. It's not football. It's a battle this season, and it's always going to be a battle. And we know we've got that little bit more quality up front that can nick those games. Like on Tuesday, obviously the last goal was lucky. The ball was just over the top, weren't it? But we've got that little bit extra quality.
Sexy football from Scouse.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that second goal, give me that every week.
It wasn't really a pass, was it?
I'd argue. Do you know what? A bit of praise here for Scouse because tell you what, pre-season his legs were gone. Yeah. I thought the guy was done. I actually thought he was done.
The Cambridge vlog when he moved to right back, and we were like, oh my god, like what has happened to Gold?
It was horrendous, wasn't it?
Yeah. But doesn't that make you feel what Lambert thinks of the other 2 fullbacks when he's putting Cole Scouse at right back in pre-season?
Yeah.
He can't rate either.
I mean, Josh Emmanuel, he played against Luton, but he's not featured since Colchester, was it?
Yeah. Man.
Did he even feature?
Notts County that goal.
What? Notts County.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the goal against Notts County.
So did you go to Notts County?
Oh, was that
Just
Notts County?
briefly explain what happened.
He was it a ball over the top come in, and he tried to control it, and it bounced to a Notts County striker, and he curled it in or something.
He got pushed off the ball. Turned, the bloke passed it back and he put it in the bottom corner, basically.
So quite similar to the penalty incident they gave away at Luton.
Similar, yeah.
Very similar. That penalty was enough to say for me, the final, he's not going to get back into the squad. I'd be surprised if he does come in. But anyway, let's move on from that. Obviously, Saturday's a big game. Let us know what you're expecting from the squad. But looking beyond Saturday to our next 3, we'd say this is part of a 6-pointer from Tuesday night. So we've got our first 3 points. We've got to win on Saturday. That's a massive 6 points, right? We then come on to Shrewsbury at home, and now the Slugs, the saltiest bunch of all of them. They love salt, don't they? They just love getting salty, getting sprinkled on every week. But what I'm going to say is, it's a 9-pointer, isn't it? Surely, it's a 9-pointer.
Yeah, they're one of the weaker sides in the division. They're going to be down there.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I think I
God, salt. Oi, that's Salt Bay right there, wasn't it? No, Cameron. I think Shrewsbury, got a strong squad. Say that again.
I said they'll surprise people this year.
Hold on a second. You've got family connections in that area, haven't you? Are you saying that to keep the family? Yeah.
Hell no. We're going to smash you 4-0 next Saturday. Yeah. Quote me on it.
Mark, what do you reckon? Shrewsbury at home?
We took the 2 best players last season and hope they come back in.
Yeah.
They'll get a good reception, I'm sure.
Charge them 27 quid.
Yeah, 27 quid. You get a premium for your best players, So, but yeah, they're not to be underestimated, but it's the side you expect to beat at home, definitely.
Why are Shrewsbury fans so salty about? Because let's make this clear, yeah. Your best manager came to us and he's our shittest ever manager. Levels.
I don't think you can go with that. Now, yeah, no. Yeah, he's made you look like a god with that. In terms of, obviously, after that, we've got Spurs Youth. Obviously, our first 3 points in the Leeson Trophy there. And then Rochdale. And something really, really, really bugs me. Are we really going to call off a Saturday fixture for 3 international call-ups? And let's be honest, those 3 international call-ups is going to be Shibek in goal. It's going to be Alan Judge, who's barely even... showing up.
He's going to take Judge, isn't he?
Yeah, of course he is. Just to wind us up.
Yeah, but have you heard of Rochdale's 3 international players? Blooming heck, I'll tell you what those Kenyans can do.
Ahmed
can do bits.
Does Ahmed play for him, does he? But in terms of that, do we really want to be calling off games for international call-ups? We've got a busy schedule, and we need those players.
Tuesday night going up to Greater Manchester. It's a joke, isn't it?
Don't want to do that.
No, you don't want to do that.
I swear we've already got one of them this season.
No,
We've been all right with the Tuesday away. Rotherham's the worst one we've got, and that would proper shit on our Tuesday night away games if we got Rochdale dropped in there. We don't need to rest and starting.
No.
As much as he was pretty good when he came on, he's only now sort of got into his rhythm really, and I can't see him. He's not going to start for Republic of Ireland. Like I said, Mick's just going to take him because he can.
And obviously the Cypriot Di Maria is going to be called up for his 9th international cap.
I don't even play football out there. I'd just probably go for a bit of a jolly, I reckon. Cyprus quite. What's that? Is it Iron Apple out that way?
You know, mate. You know.
Beach soccer in Iron Apple, mate. I tell you what, he's a king out there.
That's what he's doing. So yeah,
They just have penalty shootouts over there, don't
they? We don't want to be calling off games, especially ones like this that are so far away. But like we said before we come on, if Lambert calls it off, the some fans will be upset like we are because we've called it off. We play and we don't win, he'll be the villain because we didn't win. We should have called it off. So, but in my opinion, don't call it off, Paul. Just if you're watching, you're probably not watching, but don't call it off.
Play on, Paul. Play on, Paul.
15 seconds forwards.
Yeah, right, boys. I guess we'll wrap up there. I don't know how long we've done, but thanks to everyone who's watching. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. We've got a big game at the weekend. Bolton away. Please be plenty of goals, and I hope to see you on Saturday. But until then, come on, you Blues. See you later, boys.
See you, mate.